A person looks fit, you consider that person fit. But the fact is, so not feeling well is what? If you are not in an optimal condition to perform or do any kind of regular activity. It can be related to a person or it can be related to a group. It can be related to a social circle or it can be related to a particular kind of group in the society. Okay? Now before we get into each one of them in deep, let's try to scroll through and see what all importance does positive lifestyle and healthy lifestyle have in general. What all components are there or what all elements are there in physical fitness. Hello all, my name is Rohit. I take physical education on behalf of Prep School by Vidhyaashram. In today's class, we will cover the first session of physical fitness, wellness and lifestyle. So what all things we will be covering in this session, let's have a quick look at it. First, we'll try to understand the concept of physical fitness, wellness and lifestyle, which is the title of the chapter itself. And after that, we'll look into the importance of healthy and positive lifestyle. And then we'll study about different components of physical fitness. And then we'll try to understand different types of strength. And we will understand the concepts of speed, endurance, types of endurance, and we will finally look into flexibility, types of flexibility, and we will conclude the whole session finally with coordinative abilities. So without wasting much time, let's get into each of these topics and try to understand the concept of it and what meaning does it hold. So starting off with the first one, what exactly is physical fitness? So according to you, what exactly is physical fitness? So in general terms, if you are fit, if your body is fit and if you don't have any kind of fat deposit in your body or excessive adipose tissues in your body, you consider yourself as a person who is fit. Or if a person looks fit, you consider that person fit. But the fact is, a person is not fit until he is not mentally, physically and psychologically fit. Having said that, let's look into the formal framing of the meaning of physical fitness. What exactly is physical fitness? Physical fitness is the ability of a person to do a routine work without any kind of fatigue, moreover to participate in playful activities and still reserve enough capacity in case any emergency happens or if any emergency or requirement of energy takes place. So basically, if you are a fit person, the fitness basically means you should be able to carry out your whole daily routines activity and do some playful activities or whatever extracurricular activities that you do, extracurricular physical activities you do, and still by the end of the day, you should not be drained out. You should have still some energy left in case any emergency happens. Okay? So energy should be still left out at the end of the day without having any kind of fatigue. So that is called as physical fitness. Once again, I'll recap once again. What is physical fitness? Physical fitness is the ability of a person to carry out a day-to-day activity or day-to-day routine. Apart from that, to have energy to do any kind of extra physical curricular activity that person can do and also still have extra energy or extra remaining energy by the end of the day, even if any kind of emergency comes. So that's called as physical fitness. Now, having understood physical fitness, let's get into what exactly is wellness. Okay, what is wellness now? Wellness is defined as the optimal functioning of body and creative adaptation to environment that involves the whole person. Okay, so basically is the optimal functioning of your body. Being well is what? A person is not well. We generally say this statement in English. What did he say? A person is not well, so that person took a leave. A person is not well, so that person did not come today or is not feeling well. So not feeling well is what? If you are not in an optimal condition to perform or do any kind of regular activity. Now people get confused between physical fitness and physical wellness. Physical fitness, like I said, you're a fit person if you are able to carry out your day-to-day activity and still have some extra energy to do other activities, right? But physical wellness or mental wellness or psychological wellness is what again? Generally concluding all that together, wellness is what? Wellness is to have the optimal energy to carry out the regular activities. Okay, so that's different. There you have extra energy. There you should have an extra energy remaining even after all the daily routine. But here, when you talk about wellness, a basic optimal energy or optimal power or energy or efficiency you should have or the ability you should have to carry out your day day-to-day activity, as well as to adapt to any kind of environment or adapt to any kind of activity that the environment is demanding from you. Okay, having understood the physical fitness, its meaning, having understood the meaning of the wellness, now let's get into physical fitness, wellness, and what is the third thing of the chapter, third element of the chapter, that is the lifestyle. So let's now try to understand what exactly is lifestyle. Okay, so lifestyle is what? Lifestyle is a set of attitudes. Lifestyle is a set of attitudes, habits, or possessions associated with a particular person or a group. Lifestyle is what? It's a set of attitudes. So basically it's a combination, or it's a cluster of attitudes or habits or your traditions or your likelihoods and all those kind of things. It can be related to a person, or it can be related to a group. It can be related to a social circle, or it can be related to a particular kind of group in the society. Okay, so lifestyle is what kind of lifestyle do you live. I'm not talking about a passive lifestyle or active lifestyle. Okay, now a passive lifestyle, when you talk about physical fitness or things about fitness, there are two types of, again, lifestyle. You have passive lifestyle, you have active lifestyle. Okay, so that one different kind of categorization is there. Another categorization is again based on what kind of products you use, what kind of lifestyle you use, what kind of routine you have, what kind of life you live compared to other people. That kind of lifestyle is totally different. But when you talk about physical fitness, you have again two types of lifestyle. You have active lifestyle and you have passive lifestyle, where you don't do much of an activity. Active lifestyle is where your activity, your regular day activity, or your co-curricular activity where physical body movement or the muscle involvement is more, that is called as again active life. Okay, active lifestyle or passive lifestyle, difference is that. So basically lifestyle can be related to one single person, or it could be related to the whole family or a circle or a different kind of situation that we have. Again, I cleared the doubt about two different kind of categorization. When you talk about lifestyle, when people say okay, that's a rich lifestyle, this is a poor lifestyle, that's a totally different categorization and a totally different context. Okay, here when we talk about physical fitness, we have active lifestyle and passive lifestyle. What is active lifestyle? Active lifestyle is when you are involved in many kind of physical activities. Passive lifestyle is when your body movement is very less or your body movement is very minimal. So having said that, let's move on to our next topic. But before moving on to next topic, I again want to recap what all things we did. We studied about again the title elements of the chapter. What is it? Physical fitness, wellness, and lifestyle. So what is physical fitness? What is wellness? And what is lifestyle? Now having said that, let's move on to the next topic in our session, that is importance of healthy lifestyle or positive lifestyle. Now before we get into each one of them in deep, let's try to scroll through and see what all importance does positive lifestyle and healthy lifestyle have in general. First, it increases your longevity. Then it increases the energy level. And after that, it helps in reducing depression, and it increases the level of physical fitness in your body. Then it improves your posture for any kind of postural deformities. Then it increases your self-confidence. Then it helps in coping stress. And finally, it helps in preventing any kind of cardiovascular diseases. So starting off with the first point, that is, it increases longevity. So what is the first importance of healthy lifestyle or positive lifestyle? It improves your longevity. That means that even after hitting your 40s or even after hitting your 50s, you will still be feeling young. That means even though the aging takes place, your aging won't be felt by you. You will still feel energetic if you follow an active or a healthy lifestyle. That's the meaning of the first point. So that's one of the benefit and importance of healthy lifestyle. Moving on to next, we have it increases the energy level. Obviously from the first point itself, you could figure it out that automatically when you are in a habit of jogging or in your habit of any kind of physical fitness, or if you are continuously and regular practitioner of a yoga, then you won't feel any kind of fatigue, you won't feel any kind of illness even though you are at the later part of your age. Okay, so that is one another importance healthy lifestyle and positive lifestyle has. What is it? It increases your energy level. And after that, you have it helps in reducing depression. So any kind of psychological issues, any kind of depressive issues or stress issues, it helps to again reduce that, or it helps you to solve that. So getting involved in any kind of physical activity or physical fitness activity kills the stress, and that's why it is also called as a stress buster. Okay, so it gets you involved, it keeps you engaged, and when you're engaged in some kind of activity, the chances of you getting into depression and thinking of multiple negative things or pessimistic thoughts coming into your mind will be very less. So that's the whole point behind living a healthy lifestyle and getting into any kind of physical fitness activities. Okay, so what is the next importance of physical fitness or healthy or positive lifestyle? That is, it increases the level of physical fitness. So automatically when you practice any kind of physical fitness activities, or if you live an active lifestyle or a healthy lifestyle, automatically your physical fitness improves, because like I said earlier also, 70% it is your diet and 30% it's your workout. So a healthy lifestyle also includes a healthy nutrition, okay, a healthy diet. So basically when you are practicing a healthy lifestyle, automatically you are consuming a healthy diet, or automatically when you're consuming a healthy diet, you're having a physically fit body, and physically fit body gives anatomically fitness, and it also gives you physiological fitness, which in turn will make you even psychologically happy and satisfied. Okay, so again next we have, it improves your posture. So any kind of postural deformity that you might have got, or there are chances of you might getting it due to your day job or due to your work, because you're sitting in front of your system for a long period of time, for hours without moving. In that kind of situation, this kind of physical activity, that is again yoga and any kind of sports or athletics or basketball, any kind of sports that you like, if you play or if you go for a jogging, if you do any stretching exercises, automatically your posture will be improved. So any kind of postural deformity that you might have got over the period of time because of wrong practice or wrong postural practice, that will get resolved if you live a active lifestyle, healthy lifestyle or positive lifestyle. After that you have, it increases your self-confidence. Automatically when you are physically fit, when you are mentally confident, when you are psychologically fit, when you are out of depression, and when you know how to cope with stress, and when you are engaged and working, then at that point of time what happens? Automatically your self-confidence increases and it shows upon your face, and automatically you start performing well in your life. After that, it helps in coping stress. Like I said earlier about the depression point, even the depression, even the stress, all these kind of psychological issues get resolved when you practice or when you live a healthy lifestyle or positive lifestyle. And last but not the least, it helps in preventing cardiovascular diseases. So the chances of you getting any kind of cardiovascular diseases, the chances decreases if you live a healthy or positive lifestyle. Okay, so hoping you understood different importance and different points of importance for healthy and positive lifestyle. Let's move on to our next topic, that is again the components of physical fitness. What all components are there, or what all elements are there in physical fitness? When you talk about physical fitness, there are total 5 elements that comes into play. We have strength, we have speed, we have endurance, we have flexibility, and finally we have coordinative abilities. Now since we had a scroll through of all the components and all the elements of physical fitness, let's get into each one of them and try to understand what exactly each one of them is. Okay? So strength is basically what? Strength is again defined as the ability of the muscle to overcome resistance. So any kind of activity that you're doing which puts a resistance, which again puts a tension on your muscle. I'm not talking about mental tension, I'm talking about physical tension. When a weight is put on your muscle, when you're trying to lift anything, something which is very heavy, a tension is put on your muscle. Is your muscle, is your arm or is your hand able to handle that kind of weight, that kind of tension? So the resistance level, the resistance capacity of your muscle to handle certain kind of tension is again called as your strength in simpler terms. Okay? So your ability to perform any task, the ability to perform any task, again the ability of your muscle to perform any task or to overcome any kind of resistance or any kind of tension that is given to it, that is called as strength. Now when we talk about strength, we have 2 types of strength. we have dynamic strength, and then we have static strength. In dynamic strength, we have three categories. Like I said, we have maximum strength, we have explosive strength, and then we have strength endurance. When you talk about dynamic strength, I want you to first try to decode what exactly the meaning of each term is. I have explained this technique earlier also. When you don't understand a certain term, what you have to do. This is a trick, okay? So when you study the concept in science also, in multiple subjects also, this will help you. You decode the term. What does dynamism mean? Dynamism means multiple level of requirement of resistance. So basically, dynamic strength is that kind of strength where the activity that is demanding the strength is dynamic, okay? If you are performing any dynamic activity, what kind of dynamic activity am I talking about? You have pull-ups, you have push-ups, you have squats, all those kind of physical fitness activity that you do for a time. When you do pull-up, right, while you are pulling up, while you do the pull-up or chin-up, while you pull up, you need strength. Again, when you go down, you again give a rest. Again, when you pull up, again you need strength. So you are basically continuously switching back and forth from requirement of resistance to not requiring the resistance. So that kind of movement, okay, that kind of isotonic movement we are talking about, that kind of strength is the requirement is called as dynamic strength. In that dynamic strength also, we have three different categories, three different concepts under that. I won't say categories, it's more like three different concepts under dynamic strength, that is maximum strength, explosive strength, and again strength endurance. Maximum strength is what exactly is the maximum level of resistance a particular muscle of a person can handle. That's a maximum strength. Strength we already studied. What is it? It's the capacity or ability of a muscle to overcome any kind of resistance, right? So maximum resistance is the maximum ability of a particular muscle to overcome any kind of resistance. After that, we have explosive strength. When the activity is demanding the resistance towards a particular activity for at a one shot, at a quick shot, at a burst shot, that is called as again explosive strength. So basically, for example, pushing a particular block of box, while you push it, you give a initial inertia, and at the same time you give a strength, and then you again push it, right? So while you're pushing it harder, that inertia that you're giving initially plus the strength that you're giving at the same point of time, simultaneously with a quick shot at that point of time, that is called as explosive strength. After that, you have strength endurance. That is how much long you can endure your strength. Okay, once I will go back to the explosive strength and try to make you understand it even more better. For example, when you have weightlifting, right? When you have double bar weightlifting, you might have seen that the person who lifts the weight, the person who lifts double bar weight, he first gives a push. Initial explosive push he gives. That energy that he pushes, that initial push he gives, and to lift that double bar dumbbell up in the air, that's again called as again explosive strength. But how long that person could retain that in the air, how long that person or athlete can retain that bar in the air, that depends on that person's strength endurance. How long can a person hold the resistance, or can withdraw, or again withdraw, or any person can overcome the endurance for a period of time. So how long can a person go through the tension on his muscle while carrying out an activity, that is called as strength endurance. I hope you understood all the different three concepts under dynamic strength. Having said that, let's get into the static strength. Now, static is what? Static is constant. Static is stable, right? So, while doing activities like walking, okay, or while carrying a bag from a grocery store to your home, you're continuously holding the same weight and you're walking back to your home. So, the energy that is again the strength that you have over there, the tension that is being put on your muscles on your arm is the same throughout the time you reach home, because the weight that is being put on the muscle is still the same. So that is again called the static strength. So you are statically maintaining the strength, you're statically showing the strength over the weight that you're carrying. Okay, so that's called as static strength. Keep this concept in your mind and try to imagine different sports and try to compare in which sports which kind of strength is applied, right? Like I gave you the example of weightlifting, right? In weightlifting, more like you have dynamic strength. When you talk about marathon, when a person is running continuously for a long period of time, he has to maintain that speed, he has to maintain the energy level and the strength in his arms and his legs to carry out the whole marathon, right? He should be able to withhandle that for a long period of time. So that comes under again static strength. In certain sports, initially it will require you to maintain the strength. So that time it will become static. Later when you switch back and forth between different strength levels, automatically it will become dynamic strength. So dynamic strength and static strengths keep coming and going depending on what kind of sports are we talking about or what kind of physical activity are talking about. Okay, so having said all those things, hoping you understood different categories and different types of strength, let's move on to our next topic, that is speed. So what exactly is speed? Speed is defined as the ability or capacity of an individual. It is what? It's an ability of and capacity of an individual to perform a particular kind of movement, any kind of movement that person is performing at the same pattern at a faster rate. So running is a bipedal motion, right? When a person is running, it's a bipedal motion. So the pattern is same. He's keeping the left foot front, then he's keeping the right foot front while he's running or while he's walking. But how fast is he carrying out that action? How fast the cycle of walking is taking place or bipedal movement is taking place? That is called as again speed. So I hope you understood what exactly is speed. Once again, I'll repeat with the proper formal statement for that. That is, it is defined as the ability or capacity of an individual. It is what? It is an ability or it's a capacity of an individual person to perform a particular kind of movement in a same pattern at a faster rate. So how fast he can perform that particular pattern and how long he can carry on the circle, that particular kind of fast rate or fast pace is called as again speed. Okay, hope you understood what exactly is speed and the concept of speed. Hoping you understood it better. Now moving on to the next topic in the session, that is endurance. So what exactly is endurance? Endurance is defined as the ability to sustain an activity. So endurance is what? Endurance is defined as the ability to sustain an activity. So when you're doing an activity, how long you can hold that activity. Okay, so for example, certain yogasanas require you to hold a particular posture for 30 seconds or 1 minute or sometimes for a longer period of time. How long you are particularly able to hold it, that is again called as endurance. Okay, so these kind of different kind of activities that demands you to hold a particular kind of activity for a longer period of time, and how long you could hold it, that shows your endurance. So basically, what is endurance? Endurance is the ability of a person to sustain an activity for a particular period of time. So every individual will have separate endurance. What endurance you might have will be different from what endurance your other friend might have. Okay, so endurance of a person differs from the physical fitness of different levels. Okay, so individual to individual the endurance also will differ. As we are studying about physical fitness and wellness, all these components will come under that, element, speed and whatever we are studying now. Okay, so endurance is once again what is the ability. It is defined as the ability of a person to sustain an activity or to carry out an activity. I hope you understood the meaning and the concept of endurance. Having said that, let's move on to our next topic, that is types of endurance. Now we have understood what is endurance and what's the concept behind endurance. Now let's look into the different types of endurance. You have short-term endurance and you have long-term endurance. So in sports also, like I said, there are million types of different sports and games. So different sports will demand different kind of endurance from you. Certain sports require you to have a longer endurance. For that, again, you should be able to perform the activity longer. For example, like marathons, right? For marathons, you need strength. For race and quick sprints, you need strength. But for quick sprint, you need a short-term endurance. Means for if you have a 100-meter race, if you have a 200-meter race, you don't need to have the endurance for a longer period of time. You just need to have endurance. Hardly you will have to have the endurance for 10 seconds. So if you are again running for 100 meters, you will have to have the endurance of 10 seconds, okay, or 15 seconds or 20 seconds. Like that exactly, even when you're talking about long-term endurance, when you're talking about marathons, you may need to have the endurance for hours or maybe longer, maybe for days if you are doing cross-country, cross-state races and a lot of other kind of categories in that, okay. So different sports and different athletic activities demand different kind of endurance from you. You have two kind of endurance here. You have short-term endurance and then you have long-term endurance. Short-term endurance is again expecting you to have short-term endurance, and sports that require long-term endurance, for that you need again long-term endurance. That means you should be able to perform that activity longer. If you don't have long-term endurance, you won't be able to perform any activity that requires long-term endurance. Same with the short-term endurance. Okay, so hope you understood the concept of endurance and the two different kind of endurance, that is short-term endurance and long-term endurance. Let's move on to our next topic in the session, that is again flexibility. I'm hoping that you are understanding each and every components of physical fitness. We are talking about all of these elements one by one that we are going in deep, plays a very major part in physical fitness. So everybody will not have the physical fitness or the top-notch quality in all 5 components. You may be very good at flexibility, but you may not be very good at endurance. So by this understanding different components and different levels of that, and different flexibility and different speed and endurance and different concepts of that, you will also be able to judge yourself, and you will also be able to improve yourself in whichever field or whichever component you are weaker. Okay, so try to understand this concept very deeply and stay focused so you understand it more better. Flexibility. What is flexibility? Flexibility is defined as the range of movements of your joint. So how long you can reach, how long particular joint of your body can reach, that flexibility of your body and muscles and joints is again called as flexibility. Now, what all are the exercises that helps you to improve your flexibility? One short answer is yoga. If you perform yogic activities or yogic asanas, automatically your flexibility of your body will improve, and that will also improve your physical fitness, because like I said, it's also a part of your active lifestyle. Because of the modern generation passive lifestyle, many people's muscles are not getting involved in any activity. Because of that, lot of problems are coming. All those kind of issues will be solved if you practice yoga, and it will improve your flexibility. Having said that, let's move on to our next topic in the session, that is again types of flexibility. So hoping you understood the concept of flexibility, let's move on with the types of flexibility, that is passive flexibility and active flexibility. Now what exactly is the difference between passive flexibility and active flexibility? Passive flexibility is a flexibility where you are able to flexible a certain joint or muscle of your body with external help. So if you are using any prop, or if you are using the help of any partner, then that kind of flexibility is called as passive flexibility. Or if you are doing any kind of flexibility on your own, with your own strength and with your own capability of your joints without any external help or external support, that is called as active flexibility. Once again, what is passive flexibility? Passive flexibility is that flexibility where you are flexing your muscles or flexing your joints with the help of an external help, whereas the active flexibility is that kind of a flexibility where you are making the flexibility, or you are again flexing your muscle or joint with your own capability of your own muscle and joint. Okay, so under active flexibility also we have two different concepts. We have static flexibility and we have dynamic flexibility. Like we studied about static endurance and dynamic endurance, what is the difference? Static flexibility is if you can flex a muscle or joint of a body and can stay and maintain that. There is no movement involved in that. So best example for that is yogic asanas. When you do yoga, you are demanded to do certain kind of postures where flexibility is involved, and you are asked and you are demanded by that particular asana to hold that position for a longer period of time, or hold that flexibility for a longer period of time. Then that becomes a static flexibility. Now when we talk about dynamic flexibility, we are talking about certain warm-up exercises where you are flexing up your body and you are again contracting and retracting at the same time. So continuously you're moving, you're flexing, and again you're contracting, again you're retracting. So all this kind of different kind of flexibility concepts will be implemented in your day-to-day physical fitness activity. So I hope you understood what is passive flexibility, and I hope you understood what is active flexibility and its different sub-concepts that we have, which is static flexibility and dynamic flexibility. Let's move on to our next concept in line, that is coordinative abilities. So what do you mean by coordinative abilities? Coordinative abilities is defined as the coordination between the muscles and central nervous system, your CNS, central nervous system, abbreviated as CNS. You might have studied this in biology also. So basically, what coordination abilities are we talking about? Your neuromuscular coordination, your brain to your muscles contact, right? Your reflexes. So when you do any kind of physical activity, or when you take part in any kind of sports or athletics, your contact between your nervous system and your muscles has to be very intact and sharp. So your reflexes, will help you in sports. So there are certain abnormality which also is helpful in sports, that is called as hyperreflex. Some people have very fast reflex than a normal human being. Okay, so for those, they use that particular ability of them in the sports. So if again somebody is hitting a goal, a goalkeeper, he is having hyperreflex, he will be able to handle that kind of a goalkeeping very fast, because that flexibility, that sharpness, that reflex, that sudden response to the opponent's move will again show up the cognitive ability of that person. Again, cognitive ability, like I said, cognitive ability is basically what? Is the capacity of your brain and your neuromuscular coordination. Is the capacity or the ability of your neuromuscular coordination. How sharp it is, how fine it is, okay? How well capable it is to handle different kind of activities or different kind of tasks that is demanded by the sports. So hope you understood the cognitive abilities again, which is one of the components of physical fitness. So what all are the components of physical fitness that we studied? We studied about speed, we studied about endurance, we studied about flexibility, we studied about cognitive abilities. With that, we conclude the components of physical fitness. So what all components did we study about physical fitness? What all components are there? Total 5 components are there. The first one is strength. Second, we studied about speed. Third, we studied about endurance, then we studied about flexibility, and finally we concluded the components of physical activities with, again, cognitive abilities. So I hope you understood different concepts that we covered in this chapter, along with small little tips and small little details that I gave you regarding different kind of topics and different kind of elements of physical fitness and wellness. We will cover more such topics in the next session of the same chapter. Until then, I'll take a leave from here. This is me, Rohit, signing out. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.